So there we go. So, okay, well, like I said, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what part of the world you're coming from. This is our international team meeting that we do every Monday at 1 p.m. And we also want to make sure that you let people know, get on, have them text people, say, hey, we got started. We always want to start on time. I hate being invited to a meeting that starts at a certain time and don't start till 10 minutes after. I'm like, why aren't they started yet? So
And
there's my start.
just because we respect the fact that some people have to get back to work, it's during their day. And, you know, we have respect for your time. So we don't want to go over an hour. We have a lot to share today. We have a lot of exciting things happening. And we're going to hear a really exciting testimony from Yolandi in South Africa, who we have had the pleasure to meet since we were there in South Africa. So just buckle your belts and get ready. And I also want to say, first and foremost, we are not medical professionals, so we do not guarantee anything. We're not going to tell you that
we're not going to give medical advice
that you know, today's your miracle day. If you wear this, you're gonna experience health, complete health and healing. This just aids your body to do what your body has been designed to do by God. And we will be sharing that, and in part way during the meeting, we will share the opportunity. You know, maybe you're thinking, hey, if I share this with people, am I going to be compensated? Is the company going to share something with me? So we will share that. And then we've got recognition. Yay, so many people that are moving up the ranks, which we're going to share with everyone. So, and if you invited someone on, we don't know everybody here. You know, Zoom user, we don't know who that is. Please put your questions in the chat for us. If you have any questions, put them in the chat. I will be handling all the admin. And then if you invited someone but you don't see them on here, please text them quickly and tell them we're getting started. And get back with the person that invited you to be on the Zoom.
Yes.
Okay.
But yeah. So, and as I say, also, if there are people on here that that they're your people, please put in the chat also, hey, so-and-so is a guest of mine, so we can at least answer any questions at the very end. So we always want to get started because from a standpoint of being on time, like Mena mentioned, we want to make sure respecting your time. The most important part to this, again, is we're sharing a technology, really is truly technology that has changed our lives. For me personally, the reason we got started, the reason that we're part of this is because I had, unfortunately, some issues that happened over several years. So back in 2016, I had a car accident that damaged my neck, my shoulder, my back. Someone plowed into the back of my car when I was stopped. They're guessing me going about 60 miles an hour. I think it's about 80 kilometers an hour. I did a lot of damage. Unfortunately, went to a chiropractor on a regular basis. And then I injured my knee in an exercise that we did on 9/11/2021, went up a 5-story building 18 times. I slipped and tripped actually halfway down going through the exercise that we did. And I continued going. I stopped for like a minute or two and I kept on going, unfortunately, which did more damage to my knee and then affected my hip months later because when you start compensating for the way you walk. So 18 months ago, the only word I could say is I was a mess. I had a lot of challenges. And then my friend said, have you seen this patch? And I said, okay, I've heard about it, but I don't know much about it. And it's a stem cell activation patch, and there's no stem cells in it. He started explaining, and we'll explain more about that. And he said, you just got to try it. And it's kind of like, trust me. I did trust him. I said, yeah, we'll use it. 3 days later, no issues with my knee, my hip, my shoulder, my neck, my back, gone. I'm like, what in the world is this? How does this work? Watched a bunch of videos and stuff. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is the real deal. This is amazing. And Lily, I think it was the next day or day after, we basically said, that's it. We're getting started. We signed up for the biggest package they had. And so we're going to bless as many people as we could, because it's just like a download that we knew that we were supposed to be utilizing this to help people. And so that's what we want to share today. So the one thing I'm going to share is some information with you. So we're going to share our screen and go through kind of a presentation that explains a little bit more about what we do, how we do it. But more importantly, is really trying to make sure people understand that, again, this is a technology, took a long time to develop, but the biggest part is when you start experiencing this thing for yourself, that's when things start happening and people go, oh my goodness, sounds like me. I'm like, okay, I'm talking to everything that moves. So the big question we always tell people, have you been patched yet? Because if you haven't, that's our goal, is to have you experience this, because it is absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to have Mena talk a little bit more about David and what we saw.
So David Schmidt is the CEO and inventor of X39. He has over 130 patents now. I don't know who of you has a patent. We don't have a patent, but to have 130, oh my goodness, that's a lot of money and a lot of work, because you know, you don't just get handed a patent. You actually need to prove everything that is in that legal, because it's a legal document, you know, it's registered with the government. And David is a scientist and inventor. He specializes in age reversing. And in 2008, he focused his attention on stem cell research. The recent patent, which is the X39 patent, took 10 years and $4.5 million to bring to market. So there's been a lot of study, a lot of research that has gone into just this little, it looks like the size of a quarter or the size of a five rand coin.
Mhm.
I mean, but it's doing amazing things. I love to talk about this because
Being an attorney, yes.
my background is law, and I have a really good friend who specializes just in patents and registering patents. And I know that she doesn't just have anybody as her client. These are people who are inventors, people who come to her, say, you know what, I have this great idea. We need to research. Has anybody come up with this? And so a lot of research goes into it. And she makes sure that when they eventually register it, that their client is protected, their patent is protected. And so this product has actually been was patented in July of 2020 on the website. This is at info.com. It's that you can go and look at it. It's 31 pages long. You can read it. It's all there if you want to go and read it. But the wonderful thing about this is that there are things that are stated in this document 10716953953B1 is the number that has been given to it. There are things that are stated in this document that I was like, wow, if it's written in this legal document, then it really is happening for us. So I'm just going to read a small excerpt out of this. It says, by providing phototherapy to human body, and for example, in some embodiments as a result of elevating copper peptide, including activation of stem cells. And I found out we all have stem cells. Everything is stem cells in our body. Improvements in energy. Whoa, we have that. Elevation of antioxidants, reduction in inflammation. That's a good thing. Management of pain, improvements in stamina, elevation of collagen production, improved wound healing.
Absolutely amazing. And so one thing that a lot of people don't know is kind of how what stem cells work. You might have heard about a researcher, heard about injections, things like that. But our body basically is meant to heal. So if we cut ourselves, we break our arm, we do anything, our body's basically, those stem cells can become anything. It can be bone cells, skin cells, hair cells, whatever you need, be heart cells, whatever, brain cells, thank God for that for a lot of us. But again, the part that people don't realize, and I didn't know, is that, and I've asked a lot of people this, and they didn't realize that the reason we age is because our stem cells become more and more dormant over time. So what happens is that your stem cells going dormant. By doing that, your body starts aging. So by the time you're 30, you have half the stem cell activity you had from when you were younger. And basically when you're 60, you have 5 to 10% maybe. And so those are one of the things that when we talk to people about this, we always make sure you get it. That's Friday was on there.
Yeah.
So just mute all real quick. Go ahead and mute all and I'll unmute. There we go. Okay, good. So anyway, so the one thing that we always tell people is, again, by the time you're 60, you have basically 5 to 10% maybe. And so that's one thing we talk about. And I always think of the example, if you break your arm at the age of 18, or even if you break your leg, think about your leg for an elderly person. If you're age 18 compared to being 80, who's going to heal faster, quicker, and more complete? Obviously the 18-year-old, because they got more stem cells working for them. And that's one of the things that we talk about. So when you start elevating these things in your body and start activating more, this is where things happen. And that's the kind of results that we're getting. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a second.
So how does it work? It's a proprietary form of phototherapy, which is light frequency. You know, we hear a lot about, you know, professionals out there that are using this light therapy. It's a patented nanocrystal technology created in a lab in Ireland. It's sugars and salts, organic, all natural, all organic. And it reflects light to activate our own stem cells, non-transdermal. It's not penetrating it's not penetrating our skin. It's not going in. It's not, there's no drugs. chemicals or stimulants in here, and it's not invasive. And the product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition.
Yeah. And the way it was explained to us was that imagine the same thing when you go out in the sun basically has frequency of light that hits our skin and then interacts with our body that basically elevates things in our body. Most people understand vitamin D gets elevated when we go in the sun. Well, the sun's not pushing out vitamin D. It's the frequency from the sun that hits us. So this is a frequency patch. And that's why it took 10 years and $4.5 million to come up with the right frequency that allows the patch so when our body heat and light hits it, it actually reflects back in our body. And I use the example, imagine that these were two magnets. If basically they're meant to stick together, they'll stick together all day long, but if you flip one over, they repel each other. And that's kind of the way this works. It works like a mirror, repels back in to our body. So nothing goes into our body, but basically activates what's already naturally in our body, which is pretty amazing. But this is a great brain scan. And this is something that, again, when we start talking about proof, how does this work? And this is one of hundreds of brain scans that they've done. But this is an example of a 77-year-old woman that basically placed the patch on the back of her neck. She had a bunch of different challenges that were going on. Session 1 was before she put the patch on. Once again, no X39, inflammation in the brain and lack of brain coherence. So when you think about this red area that's on there, when you think about the oranges and reds, this is inflammation. And even David said in the video, he talked about this. You can always see the video online. And he talks about, he said, this is where, he said, you can really see there's no real stem cell activity is happening in the brain here. He said, but 3 weeks later, after placing the patch on the back of the neck for 12 hours a day, 12 hours on, 12 hours off, and we'll explain that, but basically now 3 weeks later, no more inflammation, improved brain coherence. This has been 3 weeks. And then 3 weeks later, he goes, this is what a balanced brain looks like, a complete turnaround compared to what it was 6 weeks earlier. So that's what they talk about. Brain becomes balanced within 6 weeks because that's what they see people happening to. A lot of people start noticing something within the first few weeks. Because once again, when you start reducing the inflammation, one of the doctors said this is the best anti-inflammatory he's ever seen. Another doctor said this is also the best, something that increases more collagen in our body, best product he's ever seen, which is pretty amazing because that's some of the things that they talk about.
So the benefits of X39, and I always say, you know, we pretty much have experienced absolutely everything on this list. Increased strength, reduced inflammation, definitely a big one for a lot of people. Increased stamina. We're hearing that, you know, from the youth, the younger people, as well as the older people, just the ability to keep going without feeling exhausted. Energy and vitality, also big. Mental clarity, no more brain fog, not forgetting why they walked into a room, or, you know, just forgetting that they had already said something previously. Restored muscle and skeletal conditions. And we're hearing awesome testimonies. I mean, just about like changes in the bones in people's bodies. Improvement of sleep.
That's huge.
That for me, and you know, when I share that with some people, they say, oh my gosh, especially the medical professional, if your sleep is off and your body's not resting, it messes up so much in your brain, in your physical body, because your body needs time to repair, to rest. You know, that's when things start to move properly. So I was big when I started to experience that, and now it's just like consistent since end of September 2022. My sleep is amazing. I'm dreaming and remembering my dreams, and absolutely like it's the most amazing thing now for me. Improved skin appearance, and that's of all ages, you know, whether a teenager has skin challenges or whether somebody old or older or more mature is looking, you know, has eczema, or they're looking for their fine lines to be reduced and things like that. So it's the achievement of optimal health, a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. Aren't we all looking for that? Just to feel that sense of just being well.
Yeah. And so one of the other things that I still don't understand all these different things, but you can go on thisisitinfo.com and we'll talk about that. But you're going to want to write that down, check out the website. But they talk about all different case studies they have. They've done over 80 case studies on different types of patches, different things they've done. But with the X39, basically first few days, over 4,000 genes begin to reset to a younger state. So when you think about things like resveratrol, most people drink red wine, or they have that maybe as a supplement. Well, that resets 2 genes. This resets over 4,000. So the power of that, most people don't realize your body goes into a reboot, and people have experienced this. And I experienced it, my wife experienced this, and it's just, you start seeing that things are changing, in your body for the better. It's like a computer being bogged down. Do you keep on working on the computer and say, I'm going to keep on working with, hopefully it'll get better? Or do you say reboot? I just rebooted my computer just before, because I had so many things open. I said, I got to close all these things out. Let me just reboot it, because I didn't want things locking up or anything. Because what does that do? It like resets the system, and that's what happens. So within 6 weeks, like the illustration we showed, brain becomes balanced. We've also heard our hormonal balances happen. Our body's meant to be balanced, and that's what happens. Even people talk about pH balance and things like that. Within 3 months, collagen levels are increased. So instead of taking pills and powders and drinks and all kinds of collagen stuff, imagine you can naturally increase your collagen levels in your own body, so that, once again, this is why we're seeing huge skin improvements, hair improvements. I used to have a little bald spot back here, like no mas. I used to watch church on TV, and I'd say, that's me. What the heck is that? I didn't know I had a bald spot in the back of my head, and we're not watching it just go away, which is kind of cool. Within 6 months, heart reverses in age. This is huge. If you understand, number one killer is heart disease. And if you understand, they said normally the studies they do, they track these different things. And they said the average heart increase, or basically average age reversal, is 8 years within 6 months. That's average. So some people are getting better than that and some people less, but they said the average. I mean, that's huge if you understand cardiovascular wise. So again, I'm 53, but I feel like I'm in my 30s, and I think my heart's kind of there with me. I mean, it's amazing. So David Schmidt has quoted this all the time, and he says, this is not anti-aging, this is age reversing. That is a pretty bold statement to understand, but they've got science and documentation to prove that your body starts acting younger, and you'll start seeing that when you start utilizing this. Is kind of cool. So you want to talk about that?
So how to wear the patch? Okay, you wear the patch 12 hours on and 12 hours off. You put it in, and try and be as consistent as possible. I know Greg always shows how 9 a.m. his alarm goes off on his phone,
yeah.
and he puts it on the back of his neck, and then takes it off at 9 p.m. And some people are saying put it next to your toothbrush, so when you brush your teeth in the morning, you remember to put it on. So you want to repair and rejuvenate at night, take it off in the evening, throw the patch away, put a new patch on, and repeat consistently. You can wear more than one at a time. You don't necessarily need to. And drink plenty of water.
Yes,
and make sure that your water is spring water, with minerals,
Yes.
mineralized water.
We're finding out that a lot of people drink purified water, which is dead water, and they put a little sodium in there just for flavor, because if you ever drank dead water, you realize it tastes dead, because they strip out everything, but that's not our body's meant. When you think about the natural spring water that we should be drinking, and why people are healthy drinking that, because we need minerals. We need that to basically help our body heal and stuff like that. So one thing we're going to share is, obviously we got someone who's going to be on here. We're going to share in just a minute, but I'm going to share a couple things beforehand. But it's amazing, the testimonials. The business is it's really a sophisticated product, but it's so simple to explain. The testimonies are life changing, and you're going to hear about that today. I'm very emotional. We get very emotional when we're talking to people, because we see life's change. It's been absolutely phenomenal. My life is completely different, and we now have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people personally that their lives are changed because of this, because it absolutely works. But to give you a couple of different things in background, Adam Schneider's a plastic surgeon. And again, there's a great video that if you say, hey, can I get the video? It's on YouTube, where he talks about, again, how he uses X39. And when they heard about this, he said, I bet if we use this, we'll probably get better results when people start healing. So when they start using lasers to remove layers of skin, he said the normal recovery time is 5 to 7 weeks minimum. And what's interesting is we were talking to someone just recently, we got started, and she knew someone, it took a lot longer than that. So that's when you talk about the healing process enhancing. When they started using it, they got better results. But then they started using it 30 days prior to actually having the procedure. It's now a protocol that everybody gets patched every day for 30 days, basically prior to. They give them a sleeve of patches, which comes in basically a package of 30, basically 30 days prior to the procedure. And the crazy part about that, now the recovery time is 5 to 7 days instead of 7 to 10 days. So 7 to 10 days instead of 5 to 7 weeks. So when you think about the healing process that our body goes through preparing for that, it's amazing. We've also seen those people having surgeries, other things, recovery time is much faster. But the crazy part is, Adam, you said that people reach out to him and said, I'm sleeping better. My shoulder doesn't hurt. My feet don't hurt. What is this all part of the patch? Because they start seeing the healing process before they even go to get the laser surgery done. It's pretty amazing. Dr. Leland Stillman is another person that actually is here in Florida, and he's a light expert. I mean, he does everything with light therapy. He has hundreds of thousands of dollars of machines, People buy very, very expensive machines to lay in a bed for like 20 minutes or half an hour a day or 45 minutes. He goes, this is the easiest protocol. It's called peel and stick. And he's the one that says all the time, he goes, this is the greatest collagen level increaser we've ever seen as far as a product. He said, we've never seen a product like this, and it works better than 99% of the stuff that they use, which is pretty phenomenal. But this is just an example, and I'm going to show a couple different pictures, kind of before and afters. You think about day one, you're taking a picture, and we recommend people doing the same thing. If you start doing stuff that we tell people, start taking pictures, start looking at things. It may take a time to do that, but day 42, you look at the difference here. Day 355, so basically a year later, look at the difference here. But this is her today. So if you can't notice the difference there, you want to put the patch on because it's going to help you fix your eyes. So, I mean, it's amazing. We're seeing that for ourselves, my wife, myself, other people. We're seeing, once again, fine line wrinkles, everything going away, but it doesn't happen overnight. This is over a period of time. Here's another gentleman that actually fell through the rafters. He's working in the rafters, fell through the ceiling, broke 6 ribs, punctured his lung. Talk about extreme discomfort. You can only imagine what he was going through. Expected recovery, minimum of 6 weeks, back to work within 3 weeks. Look at the time here from the 17th to the 30th. That's 13-day difference, less than 2 weeks. I mean, this is not normal. Even doctors are going, that's not normal to healing time. You know, we'll have a lot of the people that have things on their hand. This is an example. My wife had the same thing. Red, sometimes blisters and all kinds of stuff. She didn't even want to hold my hand. If you look at her hands now, I wish you could see, but it's like beautiful. I mean, literally, I mean, someone said she should be a hand model because her hands look beautiful. It wasn't this bad, but it was pretty bad though. All the red between her fingers and everything else.
It was just annoying because, you know, it was constantly happening, and I did not know what the reason for that was, and all the tests that were done, and then every type of potion, lotion, medication,
dermatologist after dermatologist,
nothing helps. And I just thank God that it's like amazing.
So this is not her hands, but this is that person there, their hands, what it looked like. Another gentleman here, same thing, before X39, and then look at the results now. I said, plus the guy's smiling too. I think he's a lot happier too. Looks good. So anyway, so we obviously have a testimony we want to share today. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And we got a chance. I actually visited a BNI chapter in South Africa, and I got a chance to meet Yolandi. She came up afterwards and said, hey, can we please talk? I'm very interested in this product. So I'd love for her to unmute herself and share a little bit about her experience, what she's seen, and some of the results that she's gotten. So Yolandi, if you could do that, that would be amazing. So if you just want to unmute yourself, that'd be fantastic.
Hi guys. Thank you so much. So good evening to everybody everywhere from South Africa. It's evening. So you guys are going to make me go to bed on time. Thank you very much. So I'm Yolandi. I'm a mum, an audiologist, and an image consultant. And I'm in the process of recovering from triple negative breast cancer. I was diagnosed on the 23rd of March last year, and that was now past Saturday was exactly 12 months. And with that, I started the whole process with rheumatoid arthritis as well, which is not going into the whole process very healthy. Had to have 8 months of chemotherapy, and the awful red one in conjunction with a lot of others. So you can just imagine your whole system literally gets broken down. Had my reconstruction and major surgery, and then another lovely 30 days of intensive radiotherapy, radiation. So I finished on the 4th of January this year, and 33 days ago I started with my X39. And I did not, this is the first time I'm attending this meeting, so I didn't have all those lists. And I was smiling all the way through because I made notes so that I can keep to the time. I mean, I've just started my second pack of X39. I use it every day for my 12 hours. And I wrote down, I've got energy again. I am doing my practice. I'm busy in my practice again full time. I had headaches that I just couldn't explain, but that is subsiding. It's not completely gone, but we're getting there. my skin, when you've done chemo, your skin starts to look a little bit leathery, like you've spent a lot of time in the sun, and not to mention the radiation that the radiation has on your skin. So yes, and it's very tender parts. So my skin is wonderful. I mean, I can't complain. I'm getting rid of these. And then I wrote down wound healing, because I've had all these wonderful potions that the oncologist and the radiologist and everybody suggested, and I used some of them. I mean, January to when I started, obviously I had to use something, but since I've put the patch on, it's like yeah, I forget about the potions and lotions, because I don't have the itch and all of that. It's just so much better. And yes, I had a bald patch here. As you can imagine, I lost all my hair. And then when it starts growing back, the lady said to me, it's going to be patchy. So I had this bold spot here, but as you can see, everything's nicely back. Had my first full haircut. And I think the huge impact that it had is in pain management, because I can actually go to bed and I can actually rest a full night without, because I couldn't sleep, because my pain, my hips were just so painful. And I mean, where do you sleep where you don't touch your hips? Either the side or the back or the front. Your hips are in the way, I'm afraid. So yes. And if you told me that this little patch was going to do that, I would probably, if I wasn't at my wit's end, I would probably have been so much more skeptical. But I had absolutely nothing to lose and absolutely everything to gain. And I'm gaining. And that's the big thing. And I mean, I've got a very good medical aid, and all these medications and therapies and physio and you name it. My lymph drainage, the lady that helps me with the lymph drainage said to me that I don't have to come anymore. It's okay. I'm all sorted. She'll see me when she sees me. I didn't tell her, but I'll tell her now, because I didn't want that to influence her decision. I wanted this to be objective from everybody. So yes, I don't think there's an easier, more cost-effective, straightforward, plug and play kind of option ever in my life. So yes, thank you very much. And it was so lovely to meet you that day. When you stood up and you started talking, I knew my miracle has happened.
Wow.
Amen. We're so excited for you. And again, we just, you hear about these different stories and you hear some things that people have gone through. And I kept on saying, we'll be praying for you, praying this helps you like it's been helping us. And it's been a game changer. And we see that. And so, and again, you know, when you look at how the lives have changed, I just thank God, because I wasn't supposed to go to the BNI that day, but I felt like I needed to go. And I went, and it was just,
Oh, I'm so glad you did.
That's right.
Yeah.
I met you, I met Brendan and a bunch of other people. It's so cool. And we're so excited to just bless as many people as we can. So yes, thank you so much.
You brought tears to my eyes,
Yeah.
Yolandi. Honestly, to understand what you've been through. I mean, we can't even understand just a little slither of it, you know.
And you know what, guys? I actually forgot. Oh, my word. Can you imagine that? I actually forgot that I've actually been diagnosed with fibromyalgia.
Mm.
Okay, so, I mean, wow, brain fog. I forgot I've got fibromyalgia. That is not something you forget. That is something that you are constantly aware of day in, day out. And I left that out because it's not bothering me anymore. So,
Oh, wow.
wow, there we go. Another one. Write it down on my notes for next time.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Well, you're a walking testimony, and we
Yes.
thank God for that. And you know what? We also feel so blessed that we were introduced to this. Like, I don't know where he would be right now, and I mean, he was driving me crazy. When you talk about hip pain,
Yeah.
I mean,
No.
literally, it was
I
not
relate.
pleasant.
It is the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just can't
So
get comfortable. I'd be sitting here, even sitting here, I'd be uncomfortable and just
Yes.
constant. And it's just, oh my goodness,
Yeah.
what a
I
blessing.
mean, you look like you've got ADHD because you could keep on doing that, but it's just because it's so painful, really.
It's true though. It's
yeah.
amazing. But thank you for
Thank
sharing.
you so much for sharing.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank
For
you.
that. So yeah,
Thank you,
God bless
guys.
you for that. Thank
Bless
you.
you.
Yeah, so we started hearing from, Yolandi a little bit more what was going on. We kept on going, would you mind sharing with others? Because it just gives people hope. And that's the part, we have so many testimonials. And again, the This Is It site now, This Is It info site, Lily has all these testimonials on there. I should probably create a slide just for that, so people know, where to go. Whoops, I gotta escape out of here and share my screen. That'd be a good thing first. But it's one thing is that when we talk to people, about this, and we want people to understand how powerful this is, I tell people all the time, I want you to experience this. And I'll never forget, how did that happen? That was weird. Went back to the beginning. That is not what I wanted to do. I never have difficulties, but today, there we go. So one thing that you want to do is go to thisisitinfo.com, take a look at the website. On there now, it's got testimonies. And once again, they're looking for more testimonials. Now, they got to be what they consider compliance of certain words they don't want us to use. And we can talk more about that. If you would love to share your testimonial, and also if you'd like to share it on this meeting, we would love to hear from you, because we want to share with as many people as we can the benefits. Because I get now over 20 things that this improved. And it's just amazing, all the different areas. And to me, the main thing was, once again, all these issues started going away. I'm like, oh my goodness. And I thought it was just for pain. Didn't realize it was for a lot of other things. And we're seeing amazing things that you hear about. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna shift now, because again, hopefully you get enough information. And we do recommend going to This Is It info, checking out more information, check out the first 2 videos. That video with Dr. Stillman's about 40 minutes long. I recommend checking that out, because that is something that's gonna be great. But again, hopefully you get the information that you want from the product. But we want to talk a little bit more, of course, how to share this and why we're being compensated to share. Now, some people say, well, you've got a reason to share. Well, yeah, of course, that's business. We were looking for business opportunities. And because of this, I'm like going, oh my goodness, we're going to help a lot of people become successful. Our friend Stephen Gina Barrett said, oh my gosh, we're going to help people get rich. And it's not by taking advantage of people, it's by blessing people. And so when you understand blessings, that's what happens, is the more you bless people, the more you get blessed. And we've been tremendously blessed, and we're just getting started. So when you think about looking at anything you'd want to do, maybe on the side of what you're doing, I tell people all the time, I said, you know what, I don't know what your dreams or goals are, but there's a book on there talking about, there's a lot of books on there talking about what is your why. And Simon Sinek talks about that. He said, what's your why? Because we talk to people all the time, because that's a big motivator for every single person to do something. Why are they doing what they're doing every day? Because once again, when I talk to people, we interview a lot of people, say, well, what are your dreams? What are your goals? What are your ambitions? And I use example here in the US, we talk about if you won the lottery, what would change in life? Because it takes basically the money situation now. If you want a huge multi-million-dollar lottery, how would your life change? And people start opening up going, my goodness, I probably wouldn't want to work my job anymore. I probably wouldn't do this. I'd travel more. I'd spend more time with my family. I'd be able to have more security. I have this, and this, and this. And these are the big things. And I always tell people, say, would you be willing to put some time in to actually accomplish that freedom? Now, again, I don't know what the results are going to be. We can't make any promises, but I was actually very fortunate that my wife allowed me to basically say, you know what, just stop your job or replace the income. Don't have to work anymore. And I'm like, hallelujah. So back in January, I fired my job. Instead of them usually jobs fire people, I fired my job and said, I make more money part-time than you could pay me full-time. So I'm going to go around the world, changing people's lives. And that's what we're doing now. So the reason that I was there in South Africa later is normally I'd have to go back to a job. I wouldn't have been able to be there, because normally I could only be there for 2 to 3 weeks, but we extended it for 6 weeks because I said, bye-bye. So if you like that idea and you like the idea of freedom, we always recommend, we're going to show you a way that can happen. We've done a lot of things. I've never been able to have that happen, through an opportunity like this. And now we have, which is absolutely fantastic, because the company stuff, like I'll let you share.
Yes, the company is a 19-year-old company. In fact, they're celebrating their 20th year this year. We never heard about it until August of 2022. And they've grown from 20 million US to 320 million in the last 3 years, just because they brought this to markets.
Yeah, they did 450 million last year.
And now they've closed at 450 million. And this year, well over 500,000, I mean, close to 1 billion, probably, and open in 76 countries. That should be changed.
Yeah,
and the wonderful thing is, it's not a Me Too product. The great thing is, and we've experienced this since we got involved with this company, is that we don't know anybody who says, well, I also have that, unless they're partnered with LifeWave, you know. But you know, we use a lot of the Me Too products. We use the supplements, we use the hair, the shampoos and the skincare and things like that. And we also were small business owners for skincare and supplementation, and we have great products. But if we try to share that with someone, we always heard, well, I use something better, or I get my stuff from the CVS or from Dischem and it's cheaper.
Or Amazon.
So we were competing. We were always competing with other companies and other businesses. And there really is no competition here, except for, oh, well, I get my collagen increased by a shot. Well,
that's only one of like all these other things.
This does a lot more than just help increase your own collagen.
Yeah.
And so we have like cutting edge technology. One, this product, and amazing company to be aligned with.
Yeah. And it's amazing, because that's one thing we always tell people, say, not that there's a lot of great products out there, a lot of great programs out there, but this is such a unique thing that when you start talking to me about a stem cell activation patch, people lean forward and go, oh, what about that? Like Yolandi, I had like 5 or 6 people surround me afterwards. Can you give me information? Give me information. Give me, and it was just like, absolutely. And so when you start talking to people, you're going to get the same results, which is pretty amazing. So LifeWave was just also a few weeks ago noticed as the #1 fastest growing network of its kind per businessforhome.org. Once again, when they took momentum factors, the #1 momentum rank in the entire world. That doesn't happen by accident. So the team we work with is called This Is It team. So Steve and Gina Merritt, when you look at this blue line here, it actually surpassed the corporate line as far as the amount of growth they're having. And they're now, I think they did like 40% of the growth in the past year. It's been absolutely staggering of what they did. So Steve and Gina Merritt started July of 2022. We started September of 2022, and they got business all over the world. We got business now in 21 countries now. It's pretty amazing, because what happens by word of mouth, you start talking to people who talk to people who talk to people. So how this works is set up as a network. And I was very happy about that. When I heard it was what they call a binary, I didn't understand that exactly. So I started studying. I'm a numbers person, started studying the plan. And Lily, after a few days of really looking at it, I had a light bulb and go, oh my goodness, this is huge. So when you understand how simple this is, we just put people on the right. We got 2 teams, people on the right, and we put people on the left. The reason they do this is because we get paid out based upon the volume of each of the 2 different legs. So you can't just have one leg that has all these people underneath it. You get paid out on both. And what happens is that as you go manager by putting 2 people on the right and 2 people on the left, now you can become what's called a manager. And having 4 people go manager, you now can make up to $1,500 a week. And then you can make all the way up to $25,000 a week. But I just inserted a slide because I want people to understand the different levels. Once again, if you just start out and you don't have 4 people, you can make up to $100 per week. But once you're a manager, you're now making up to $1,500 a week. I say up to because, again, when you first start, you might not have enough volume for it to happen. But then as a manager, you continue making more. And as a director, is basically having 2 managers. So a manager on the right, a manager on the left, you become a director, you make up to $2,500. When you have a director on the right, a director on the left, you become a senior director. When you have more volume, then what happens is you become an executive director. We're just below the presidential level. So we're very excited about that. So we're gonna be hitting this very, very soon. And then the people we're working with are at the senior presidential director, helping people do that. But that's up to $25,000 a week. So when I point that out to people and I explain this to them, I go, that's a huge number, just that alone, but that's only one of 4 ways you can make money from this. So when I explain the binary, some people go, I don't quite understand that. There's a great video on our team website we'll share in a minute that kind of explains how this all works. And you can go watch the video from Danny McDaniel. I recommend that. He's made over $40 million in this industry. And he said this is the best compensation plan he's ever seen, because he had another business that was actually making the binary, but they didn't have this. This is what's called a matching bonus. The matching bonus is another way we make money. So when you actually get someone started and help them, you basically get 25% of their binary. So we talk to people about this binary here. Say we help, in this example, help Yolandi make an extra $1,000 a month. We'd make extra $250 a month. If we help Yolandi make an extra $1,000 a week, we make $250 a week. My goal is help Yolandi get $25,000 a week. I hope she's okay with that. Because why? Because it's going to help her life change, but we get 25% of that on a weekly basis. So what happens here, and I use the example that what happens is that Yolandi knows people who talk to this, and we get 20% of that. But then when they know people, they talk to the people, you make 20% of that. And I'm going to use a real life example. And I asked Ken if it's okay to use this. And he said, yeah, absolutely. So my friend Ken makes over $10,000 a week. Let's just flatten out at $10,000. Imagine making $10,000 a week and you brought that person in. So that person was brought in by you. You sponsored my friend Ken. He's making $10,000 a week. You're now making $2,500 a week from just him. Now imagine you can sponsor as many people as you want. We've personally sponsored over 175 people, I believe. I don't even know the numbers right now. But what happens is Ken is sponsored about 150 plus people, and we're one of them. So imagine getting 20% of what we do and the other 149 plus people from that. And then we've sponsored 175 plus people. Imagine getting 20% on us and all the other people that have sponsored the people. This is how people are making over $100,000 per week. Dollars, not rands, dollars. So if you understand, some people can't get that big, their brain hurts when they start thinking that big. Well, if we can help you make an extra $1,000 a month, 20,000 Rand a month as an example, would that make a difference in your life? What if we could help you make that money per week? What if you could do that per day? Now, it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take time, just like anything else. But for me, it took a little over 12 months and we replaced my 6-figure income. So when you understand what can happen from here, it's pretty powerful from just that standpoint. And our business is growing like every single day. And we'll explain that what's happening.
And there are no promises or guarantees.
No.
It really depends on your ambition level.
It does.
And also your network. Like, how many people are you willing to talk to? How many people do you want to share hope with? You know, because like Yolandi said, you know, she had nothing to lose. She had nothing to lose, everything to gain. And we don't hear that from one person. We hear that from almost everyone that comes back to us. I mean, somebody also out of the South African BNI that I attended shared some testimonies with me last week that blew me away. And I'm like, I need you to join us. Well, I think she may be on, but they're not quite ready to share the testimony, but she's signed up a number of people and soon will be a manager in, you know, in her own business. And the exciting thing is that there's so many people that are having positive experiences that, I mean, would never have had that if we did not open up our mouths. I actually said to her, I said, Debbie, you know what if I did not attend that? What if Greg did not attend that BNI?
Yep.
We would never have had the opportunity to share this.
Yeah, normally we go to South Africa and literally we leave by the 15th and everything kind of reopens after like the 15th. I would say the third week or so, you know, after the second week, things could begin to reopen. And I said, let me see if we can book some things. And she was on I went to an in-person meeting. She did the one online, and that's how we meet people. And that's what we're doing here today. And we're helping other people do the same thing. So how we get started is very, very simple. It's basically an order form. We tell people all the time, there's no, you know, annual fees, monthly fees, all these other kind of fees, everything else. It's just, you just buy products. So there's a couple different things we recommend. The retail price is $150. I know you can't probably see that microscopic on there, but $150. We get it at the wholesale price, and we want to get it to people at the wholesale price. The part that I always share people is that, again, we want to have people experience this product, because if you say, I'm going to put one patch on and hopefully that works for me, I can't guarantee anything in 1 day, 1 week, 1 month. We don't know what's going to happen, because what happens, your brain basically signals and says, oh, stem cells go here. This is where they're needed. So we start activating them. It's like they automatically go, yes, sir, let's go. So if your heart has an issue, but you have shoulder pain, where do you think it's going to go first? Is your shoulder a priority for your heart? It's going to go to your heart first, right? If you have gut issues, it's going to go there first. Fortunately, I was very healthy. I just had injuries, and thank God it was only 3 days later. But we've had people take 30 days or 60 days. We had some people on here took over 90 days. And I tell people the rule of thumb that David says, this is based upon all the studies they've done. They said to see the maximum results, you want to basically use a sleeve of products, basically a 1 month supply for every decade that you've been alive. So I'm 53, so I should be 5 to 6 months before I start seeing that. And it's true. The 3 days later, all these different things went away, but it took months later before a lot of other things happened, including my hair and stuff like that. All these other things that happened. I had restless leg syndrome. That's gone. So I could go on and on and on. So we want people to do that. But so we recommend for people is there's a couple different packs, a silver pack, a gold pack, a diamond pack, are 3 most popular packs. That's why we talk about these. We signed up as a diamond. We said we wanted to get this product into people's hands as quickly as possible so that we can share it with them and get the product back. So what we did is that the people that we started with, they said they recommended that. And we said, yes, that makes sense, because it took normally about a week to get the products. They said, instead of waiting a week, let's get you registered. We get you registered. And what I'll do today is I'll give you a sleeve today, but when yours comes in a week later, just give me one back to replace mine. Does that make sense? Because you do want to start today, right? They're like, oh yeah, I don't want to wait a week. Let me start doing this. We open up a pack, they patch themselves right away. So What's funny is we see a lot of people that do that and they get results right away because now you've got a bunch of product you can share with people, especially if they're locally. But some people mail out things, do different stuff, but it's hard to do that if you don't have any product but just your own. So we did that though. Again, a lot of people say, well, that's a lot of money. It was $1,600 for 19 sleeves. To me, that was less than any other business we've ever started. So if you understand any kind of business, this is like nothing. So when we looked at that, once again, $1,600, and we made that money back in about 2.5 weeks. So our first month, we made like $2,800. Our very first month, because we started sharing with many people as quick as we could, and we can't stop talking to people. And I talk fast. I apologize. I should talk a lot slower, but I get a little excited. So what happens is that when we tell people this, if people can't do this, I said, then if you want to build a business, we do recommend the gold level, because in order to be a manager above, you have to be in the gold level and above in order to do that. They specifically do that for a very particular purpose. But the biggest part to this is that now you get 5 sleeves, and they give you another one of the products they actually had prior to the X39. So you can start using those, because those are all great. I'm not going to go over details on that today, but that's something else you get that's with that. And then if some people say, I just want to try it, I just want to use it for myself, great. We'd recommend doing the silver pack, and that's could possibly be for you and your husband or you and your spouse. Start using it for your family. That's some people say, I'm using it for my child or whatever. And if we had someone sign up with a gold pack because they had 5 people in the household they want to use it with, we said, great, do that. And then you want to set up what's considered auto ship. The reason we do that is, again, from a personal standpoint, it just makes it easy. You don't have to worry about, oh, I'm running out of product, let me go order. It just gets sent to you automatically once a month. So for us, we got the diamond pack only one time we did that. And then we have 2 sleeve auto ship per month. So once again, she gets her sleeve, I get my sleeve. I'm like, I won't touch yours, you don't touch mine. I get my own product. And because of that, we're spending $200 a month. That's our business expense. I'm like, are you serious? So it's not like we got to stock tons of product and do everything else. We do have some people that have our chiropractors say, can we buy larger packs so we can sell it from there? Absolutely. So there's a lot of options you can do, but we always tell people, even to stay active, just one sleeve per month. But in order to be a manager above, you got to be at the gold level and 2 sleeve auto ship. So we want to set people up for success. So if you say, hey, I really want to build this, what do I need to do? You want to start at least at the gold level or above, depending on what your finances are. If you can't, start here, and then you can always upgrade, and you just pay the difference. You get the difference in the sleeves, and you get the difference in the price. So if you spent $300 here and you spend $500 here, you're just paying $200 difference. You spend $200, they give you 2 sleeves plus that extra bonus sleeve. We had people say, well, if I'm a gold and I want to become a diamond, what's the advantage? I said, well, you get the cheapest price. Plus, as a diamond, if you normally sign someone up at the silver gold level and you basically sign up another diamond, you get $200 as a sign-up bonus, which is awesome. We didn't even explain all that. The video will explain all that. But what happens if you're a diamond, you get $500. So if you have someone on your team that signs up someone and they're a gold and they sign up a diamond, they get 200. Guess where the other $300 goes? To the next diamond. So that's when we've had a lot of people go, this is awesome. This is great. It's just an additional bonus. So we want to help you maximize what you're doing. So hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. But the biggest part to this is get started. The second part to this is the team. You want to talk about this for a second?
Yeah, so we have a team website. This is a team.com. That's the website name. And on there is absolutely everything from the day you get registered and every step. There's like 10 steps, which we have said to people. I mean, we're here to help people along the way. But, you are there to help the people that you then talk to. And every step is there. You get the downloads, anything that's available for us to use for just to promote this, all the meeting times, the Zooms, everything that you can find on there. So there is no lack. We actually have all the support that we need online on this website.
Yeah.
And I mean, Steve and Gina have put together everything, all the tools. We are not needing to pay anybody to do any of this for us. We just literally plug and play. That's it.
Yeah.
Use the product. We use the team website. We use the website. This is at info.com.
To share with others.
And we come to Zooms and we bring the people when we don't know how to share it with them. Initially, that's what we did, is we invited people to jump on the Zooms because Steve and Gina and this is a team and all the leaders are sharing on these Zooms all the knowledge that they have. And it's free. It's
Yeah.
available to you from your own living room.
Yep, absolutely. And the compensation plan that I talk about this as a compensation plan, you click on that, the third video down, you can watch the ones from Steve Mayer, which is awesome. They're great. But the most like comprehensive compensation plan is the third video down from Danny McDaniel that I was talking about. You go right to This Is a Team, click on that, and they'll explain a lot more details. We just did a high level.
And there's
overview today.
videos for everything. There's how to go manager, how to go director, how to go senior director for every different rank, how to set up your e-wallets.
Mhm.
It's all there.
Absolutely. So one thing, we have a system. It's once again, every successful business has a system. So ours is very simple. It's a very simple 3-step system. We patch people, expose people with X39 daily. Once again, we talk to people about that in person and phone calls. We can do sampling. Once again, revisit is basically just following with people and then basically sharing the opportunity. Very, very simple business. The biggest thing that you think about more than anything else is if you're serious about your dreams and you're serious about what we were talking about, if something that triggered you, man, I'd like to be free. I'd like to not have to work a job anymore. I like the idea of just making some extra income. I like the idea of having security. What if I had an extra 20,000 Rand or $1,000 a month coming in extra? What would I do with that extra income? Man, that would go towards paying off bills, or maybe that towards my next trip that I want to take, or whatever it is. But the thing is, there really is hope for your future. And this is the same thing we try to explain to people all the time. We've been involved in this industry for a long time, but I've never ever seen anything like this product. I've never seen a team like this. The business is exploding. Steve and Gina Meredith put like 140,000 people in less than 2 years. So if you understand momentum is here. Our business is growing like crazy. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But once again, we tell people get started. There's no risk whatsoever. It's got a 30-day money-back guarantee. Try it. Now, again, I tell people when you put a patch on, make sure you're doing the right things. You wear it 12 hours a day during the day is preferred. Also, drink lots of good spring water, mineral water, or get mineral drops to put in your water. That's always going to help. But again, our prayers that have you, once again, have you start seeing some results, but just be realistic. It didn't take forever to, it wasn't so short time that all these different ailments came. Once again, it took time. It's going to take time for the ailments to go away. And so you just understand how that healing, process works. So again, last thing we talk about is, again, for people who say, I have big dreams. I got big goals. In the next 90 days, we're helping people to literally build this business in a very fast fashion, get to what's considered senior director. I got a buddy of mine, Josh, that I talked to him. He said, in order to get a senior director, what do I do? I said, 20 right personals, 20 left personals. You want to personally sponsor 20 to right. Some people go, I don't know if I know that many people. Well, then you're going to be able to meet a lot of people. But again, if you want to hit the level of what's considered senior director, making about $1,000 a week, then basically this is something you want to do, from that. So again, I am going to stop sharing real quick because we are going to go into the next phase of what we want to do. But I don't know if you had anything else you wanted to share before we go into some of the recognition and a couple other things.
Just Brendan had to jump off.
Oh, that's fine. Okay, no problem. Yeah, so the thing that we want to do is, because we have some people on here, and again, we have different recognition we do in the US here, but we're going to start doing this here in South Africa and also Europe. We want to recognize people. We apologize. There's a lot of people that hit manager, director, and senior director actually in different countries, and we're going to start actually making a list of people. We want to start hearing from people.
It's just happening so quickly.
Yeah.
So we want to start recognizing people and making, let us all see who has hit those levels and who has hit those ranks, because if we can do it, if Annette can do it, you guys can do it. And we are so proud of so many people. I mean, there are a lot of managers already in our business. There are a lot of directors. We just Josh Holdaway, he was on and jumped off. He just hit senior director.
Yep.
Some people are working, so they can't sit on the Zoom. But he just hit senior director. He's on his way like 91% or 92% to executive
already,
which is exciting. But we want to, do you have the names?
So I'm going to talk. So one thing to make sure you understand how these things work again is that basically our goal is help people get manager done within 30 days. We have a lot of people doing it in a week. Like this, some people doing it in a day. There's someone in South Africa just in one day, boom, a manager. Again, this within 60 days to go director, basically, which is helping someone become a manager on the right, a manager on the left, help them do that. And then a senior director is basically helping a director on the right, a director on the left. That's what these things stand for by basically developing. And there's a lot of people in between, obviously, but just shows an example of what it's like. So the very first thing we do is recognize some of the new managers. So there's a gentleman on here, Steve Coover. I'm going to go through different ones and we're going to call on you in a minute because we want you to share if you can. again, Steve Cooper is a great friend of ours. And again, he just went manager. We got Dinah, if you want to, I hope I got the last name right.
Donna Edison, yeah.
Yeah, and then also then Chuck and Diane Williams here locally in the United States. He's a big builder, huge
Michelle.
builder. Then we got Michelle Johns also, and then we got Vessel, who also
Yeah.
hit also the manager level. And then we have new directors, which is pretty exciting because this just happened this past week, and all these just happened in the past couple weeks. So Annette Arsenal, who's actually on here, and then we got Steve and Janet Mormon, who are not on here today, but they're going to be doing our US Tuesday night call. And of course, we've got senior directors, like I said, Josh and Paula Holdaway. I had to put Paula in there because I used to go to school with Paula. Josh goes, I'm doing all the work. I said, it's okay. Your wife gets recognition too because she puts up with your stuff. Anyway, so they've hit that level. But to go back to where we were before, what we want to do is obviously have
so not everybody is on here, but those who are on, if you don't want to, that's okay. But if you want to unmute and just share 1 minute of how you did it.
So we didn't get a chance to have Steve talk last time, so I was going to have Steve, if you don't mind unmuting. Are you still on here? I hope so.
I'm still on here and I'm unmuted. Can you hear me?
Good. Absolutely, yeah. So please tell us
good.
maybe a little bit what you're excited about, and obviously any information you want to share about what's going on with your team right now. It's pretty awesome.
Okay, please excuse that I don't have a photo. I've been told by friends that I have a radio face. With that said, I got into this about a little over 6 months ago. I didn't talk to anybody about it for the first 2 months. I wanted to know that it was going to work. My mom died with Alzheimer's. My daughters were giving me grief. They thought it was amusing that dad's being forgetful at age 21 and 23. My daughters didn't understand. This is the onset of Alzheimer's, and that I have not seen a doctor about it, so I can't verify that, but I know what it is. And I'll tell you that I went to the grocery store after 2 months of using this. I didn't have my shopping list. I went ahead and got everything that I could remember. I picked up 19 items. I didn't miss a thing. I couldn't have done it 5 years ago, probably couldn't have done it 10 years ago, but with X39, I did it 4 months ago. One last thing to think about is, they keep talking about this being a product that is unique. That is so important. I've just become a BNI member just recently, and I've been talking to people, and basically, I'll be able to go to almost any BNI group in the world if I want to, simply because there's nobody else doing this. And the most important question that you need to ask yourself is, where do you want to be 6 months from now, a year from now, 2 years from now? Write it down, because if you don't write it down, you won't make it.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Awesome. And Steve's got some people coming on board that are huge hitters. Very, very excited for his growth. So again, you're going to start seeing his name a lot, which is very cool. So thank you, Steve, for sharing. So Dinah, I know that you were on here, so we'd love to hear, because I mean, you've had some tremendous results. You actually gave a testimonial last week, but obviously hitting manager
in less than a week.
Less than a week.
Yay.
So if you want to share a little bit, that would be awesome. Thank you so much.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I was pretty amazed when Annette said, well, you're just this close to being manager, because honestly, I am so passionate about helping people with their health. I mean, that's what I do. And as a functional nutritionist. And so I just was like, I'm not focused on the money yet, although trust me, I see the potential. I get it. And I'm going to be there.
Yeah.
Because before I even knew about this product, my prayers and my thanks to God were that he would present me with the ability, not knowing what that was going to be, but with the ability to help as many people as I possibly could. And I left it open to, of course, to come to my class, and then I share. And I don't even charge for my class. I'm so passionate about getting people healthy. And but also part of my prayers were, and thank you for presenting me with an opportunity to be debt-free and very successful, so that I don't ever have to worry about that, and I can focus on helping more people. So anyway, I didn't know how all of this was going to happen, and those have been my prayers for the last year. But then, 3-4 weeks ago, bam, here comes Annette at a meeting that she wasn't even going to come to this meeting. So I told her right after the meeting, I said, that's divine intervention right there. And I said, that's divine intervention right there. And so I was so excited when she's like, Dinah, you made manager already. And I'm like, whoa, that just showed me how many more people can I help now? How many more sleeves did you say I'm going to get? And how many more people can I reach? And I just see this as, I mean, there's no end in sight. It's very, very exciting. So
That's all. We're excited for you because you have an influence of a lot of people, and you want to, just because you want to help people. And when you help people, they see your heart, which is absolutely phenomenal.
So
So
congratulations.
Wow. We're so excited for you. That's
And
amazing.
divine intervention. That's exactly it. That's
Yes.
how we see it.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely. And then obviously we got a new director in the house. So Annette Arsenal. So if you want to unmute yourself real quick and just share for a minute, we'd love to hear from you because she is a rock star. Literally, she's going to take this to the senior presidential director and beyond. We're so excited that she's obviously with us today. So please share if you could. That would be awesome.
Go Annette.
Absolutely. Yay. Yeah, my new friend Dinah, yay.
Yay.
So yeah, absolutely. For me, I had to kind of backtrack a little bit and stuff just because I was probably talking too much because I think I said this before, the system works. And me, I'm kind of visual. If you see behind me, that's literally like the beginning of my team on the wall. I stuck Post-it notes on the wall because I needed a visual, like where am I actually at? And who do I need to talk to? And what are these people like? So I put myself notes and like my personals, and then the little pink ones are the like people under them, and started filling it. It's not all on there now, but like, cause I, got busy. So giving them myself that, but using like the system is the biggest thing, and to do the hard things. It's like when I pushed myself to go to like that meeting, Dinah's not lying. Like there was a block with the circumstances around that meeting that I was going to go to. And I was kind of not feeling it. You know what I mean? Like I was things were going on in my life, and I'm like, I just don't feel like it today. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to go. It's hard. I don't feel like it. I'm feeling a little apprehensive, whatever. And I went anyway. And that's when I met Dinah. So like do the hard things, push yourself to that little bit more when you don't feel like it, or you just push yourself a little bit more. And it's amazing what will open up to you, the people that you will meet and the people that you get to help. Because same as Dinah, that's just my passion, to help people get healthy, because we can't serve God. We can't be the best us when we feel bad. And this is just one more step in helping our body be its best and do its best healing like God created it to be. And so I'm excited.
Yeah.
And getting the vision for more.
Yeah.
And more.
Yeah. And we're excited for you because, like I said, it's so funny how you actually have been a tremendous student from the very beginning. And I know just like anything, there's been ebbs and flows and different things. And I remember a time when you're like, I'm getting a little discouraged. I said, just keep talking to people, just keep doing what you're doing. And like I said, things are going to happen, and it's happening. And literally it's just the beginning. And that's where things are happening in a huge way. So it's pretty awesome what can happen.
And I love the fact that you said, do the hard thing, even under the circumstances, because that is exactly what Hardy says in his book, Compound Effect. That's the compound effect. The little things, the difficult things at the time when you actually feel challenged, and those are the things that take you to the next level. Yeah, I mean, honestly, Dinah would not be here today if you didn't do that.
Right.
So be obedient.
Well, that's with everybody here. Everybody who's on the call is literally because
I mean, most of you on this call, we do, well, we know like very few of you we knew before this particular meeting, but a lot of you we met in the out there, as we're going. So we've got new friends and family now. We feel so blessed because people that we've never met in a in-person environment have become our best friends, and we just get blown away at the testimonies. So the others were not on, but we will be congratulating them. Did you want to go?
Yeah, I want to share one other thing real quick. Let me go back to here.
Because
we got to finish up. Yeah. But one thing that I did want to share is, once again, we're really helping people because, again, manager can just happen. And because, again, just by sharing with people, director takes a little bit of more of a structure because you want to help people and so on and so forth. But I always say your picture here, and this is just something that just came I think it was yesterday, day before, but we talk about the international growth. This is a room in Portugal by a leader that said, you know what, we're going to build Portugal to be the fastest growing group in Europe. I'm going to challenge everyone here because we're doing the same thing in South Africa. We're doing the same thing in other countries. We're really excited about this. But once again, this is a team. Team Portugal is on fire. Yesterday, team had over 230 people in attendance. X39 International Business is about to explode. Now, again, it is exploding. It's going to happen in certain areas with people who want to grow it. You know, who do you know in Europe, Mexico, Asia, Australia, and more? We're in 76 countries, guys. It's crazy. And now there's no time to be sitting on your hands. Momentum is everything. And this is a team is happening right now. The momentum we have on the whole team is just exponential.
Yeah.
You're going to remember this day and say, because you're going to see little names on the thing from now on, because you're going to see so many people hitting different ranks, because that's what you're going to, I remember when there's only a few people that hit the ranks that 1 week, you know? And then again, you know, talk about Portugal's #1 momentum country, you know, in Europe. So again, get a vision of what you see. When I see rooms like this, I also see our groups being like this all over the world, but then also filling up coliseums around the world. So I don't know what your vision is. We got a huge vision for this, and we're really willing to take our time, our energy to help other people become successful.
And it really is happening now.
It is.
It's happening now. So you want to take advantage, you want to get in and be carried along. Don't be afraid. You know, we have an amazing product. We have an amazing system. We have amazing team. Everything's been put together. I just wanted to go back to the diamond thing. So I wanted to congratulate.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Congratulate a few people that you know decided they were going to join us. They were going to come on board as partners, and they, you know, they put their feet in the water, got a little wet, and then they decided, you know what, I am going to speak to the masses, and this is going to be big for me now. I know 2 people are on here that I want to talk about. Is it 2?
So you're responsible for that list.
Okay, so a lot of people, a lot of us have upgraded to diamond, but honestly, the reason why we talk about that is usually we see people upgrading to diamond when their belief is high, and they actually say, "Oh my goodness, I got to share this with absolutely everybody," and this is such a blessing to people. So, just in the last a week and maybe 2 weeks, we had 3 people that have upgraded to diamond. We know we had people
sponsored the diamonds too.
We know people that have upgraded prior to that, and congrats to you. But just in the last few weeks, and this is because we're in momentum, people are understanding that this is it. So Karen Poitier, I want to congratulate you. And you know, Karen is not. She's in medical, in pharmaceuticals. So you know a lot more than a lot of us. And Karen, I hope I'm saying your name right. She's personal to Johnny Prinsloo in South Africa, upgraded, almost manager. And I really am so excited to see Karen doing amazing things, touching so many lives. So congratulations, you're on here this evening, and one of these days we're going to get you to share. Also to Stina Nordstrom from Sweden. That's why Global, and Anna, she's personal to Anna Hughes, who we've heard from. And when Stina is available, we will actually have her share what it is that she's doing. She just upgraded just recently, yesterday, I believe it was, to Diamond Pack, and is doing amazing things. So I'm excited to hear all about that. And then Brendan, he had to jump off. I think he's our youngest partner.
Yeah.
22 years old. If anybody's younger than 22, let us know.
Yep.
But Brendan just got started. Also, Greg met him at a BNI in South Africa, Yolandi, same BNI as Yolandi. And Brendan was super excited. His eyes were as big as saucers, and he kept pursuing Greg. He kept pursuing him. Hey, I need to talk to you. I need to get started. He did get started, got his feet wet, and just the other day he decided I better upgrade to diamond. And guess what? His belief level is so through the roof. He started doing his own meetings, and he signed up a diamond, and he made $500 just the other day in one day. $500 just like that. Now that is in South Africa, it's the equivalent of about 10,000 Rand. Well, he was like blown away.
And he's very excited to do that over and over and over.
One away from manager, and he just got started. So we're super proud of him. I told him we were going to talk about him. He jumped off because his battery was dying, and they have something in South Africa called load shedding. So he could not plug in. But anyway, he's determined. He
Oh,
set a
he's
goal.
gonna be senior presidential.
He set a goal for senior presidential director, and he just got started. And
Mhm.
we'll be seeing him in the US soon.
That's
His
right.
plan is to be here at
Yeah.
our meeting in October.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
So,
yeah.
we're excited. Don't want to go over time. We have already,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
forgive us. If you have any questions,
Please forgive
anything
us.
you want to put in the chat, if you're ready to get started and you don't know how to do that, please message us. We will help. This Zoom is recorded,
Mhm.
so it will be uploaded. You'll upload it?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
we
we'll
upload it to
upload
share
it
it.
and you can go get it. The testimony was amazing. Thank you, Yolandi. We feel so blessed that God has introduced
Yes,
you
thank
to
you for
us.
sharing.
And
Yeah.
thank you so much for sharing. Thank you everyone for being on this afternoon, this evening. Get back to work, whatever you're doing, or enjoy your family and the evening. And we'll be here next week.
Yes.
Bring your friends. I know it's a holiday in South Africa, but we're on. We're
Yep.
determined
It's
to
Easter
get
Monday,
you to the
but
next
yep,
level.
Yep,
So
absolutely.
bring everybody you
Yes.
want to our meeting next week, and
Yes.
join the meetings during the week.
Yep.
I'll send them out.
Yes.
Bless you guys.
Bless you guys. God bless you. Have an amazing day. Thank you everyone for sharing. Congratulations to all the.
Thank you,
people
Dinah.
moving
You
up.
did
Yeah.
great. And
Yes. And
you guys are
great. Thank you,
awesome.
Blondie. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Steve
Congratulations.
Cougar. We appreciate it.
And Steve, yeah,
Yes.
my gosh.
Yes.
Words of wisdom there.
Amen.
Thank
Amen.
you.
Bless you guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Anna.
Bye.
We
You're
look
awesome.
forward
Bye.
to Stina, you too. And we're so excited to hear what's going on with you guys.
Yes, lots of stuff.
Okay, good.
awesome.
Directors,
Yeah.
your director soon.
Amen.
Yeah, around the corner.
Yes. Yes,
Amen. Absolutely. Get her.
Okay.
That's what we can do to help. So love
Thank-
you. Okay. Bless you guys.
Thank you so much. Bless you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.